Hello and welcome. Bengal has just got past one of the longest drawn elections, perhaps the longest drawn election in independent India's history. We had the people who had been a part of it, they know how rigorous it has been for all of us, how taxing it has been for all of us, and how enjoyable at the same time it has also been professionally for all of us. But no sooner had the election process got over, than the poll bugle for Bengal has been sounded yet again. And this time, the high stakes Bhabanipur is amongst the by-election seats that are going for polls. Mamata Banerjee, the incumbent chief minister of West Bengal, is contesting and is being challenged by BJP's Priyanka Tibrewal, and as well as Srijit Biswas from the CPIM. And today we are joined by Trinamool Congress spokesperson, parliamentarian, senior leader of the party, Derek O'Brien, to talk all about it, as well as a bit of national politics, national aims and ambitions of the Trinamool Congress. Derek, thanks for joining.
Pleasure.
Tell us, this is a high-stakes poll for the Trinamool Congress, not just for Mamata Banerjee. How confident are you, and what is it that that Bhabanipur offers to the Trinamool Congress as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned? Why is she so confident?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Shogato, and good afternoon, Pallavi. Thank you so much for having me here this afternoon. And I haven't had my lunch, so we will. My lunch is.
Everybody needs to eat.
It's always a
No,
pleasure.
I hope you're going to give us food for thought, Derek, today. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to speak with both of you. Most of the time, sadly, your channel is producing junk in terms of completely bizarre theories from Noida, but we leave that. We'll be gracious today since we're talking to Shogoto and Pallavi, because otherwise I can rant and rave on the complete garbage which your channel throws, and this is online, so I haven't seen the online, so I'll leave the garbage out. To answer your question, it's a very festive atmosphere in Bhabanipur. Everybody knows the result, but no election one should be overconfident. No election one should be arrogant. It's the people who will have to express themselves, and everyone knows the result. But we can't say that just because Mamata is going to win by a huge margin, that doesn't mean people will stay at home. So every election has to be approached with humility. Every election has to be approached with organizational seriousness. No taking anything for granted, and that is the way we approach all elections. There are some gentlemen who came here, two gentlemen who came here and did all the big talk before the elections. That's not the Trinamool style, so we don't need to do the big talk. Remember, they came and they said they'll win double century seats. Now they're somewhere in the late 60s, early 70s. So it's festive. I'm a little sad actually on a personal level because my constituency borders Bhabanipur. So I wish I was a Bhabanipur voter today. So yeah, I think all's good. All's good. And I think since the lady involved is someone way beyond Bhabanipur, way beyond Bengal, way beyond, as I dare say, after seeing the Time magazine top 100 in India, internationally. So should be obviously the expected result. Obviously the expected result, but that's I said you don't take an election for granted. We'll win.
Well,
So, Derek,
Yes.
so Derek, you
I'm
picked up for the
confused,
Time magazine thing, and that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, Derek. The Time magazine, interestingly, has in a list of the top 100 powerful people the names of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and of course Mamata Banerjee. So here's the quiz for you: 2024, is that going to be Modi versus Mamata? Let's not be gracious about the opposition because we don't even want to go into that area of how the Congress party really needs to pull up its songs. But do you think 2024 is going to be Modi versus Mamata Banerjee?
Well, I think it's even bigger than that. I think 2024 is going to be the BJP manifesto versus the Constitution of India. This is not just about personalities. What's at stake is in 2024 is exactly what was at stake at the Bengal election. On one end, you had the BJP Bengal and the BJP Modi Shah-led campaign here, which they were presenting the manifesto of the BJP. And the people of Bengal, more important than the Trinamool manifesto, much more important was the constitution. And I think the Indian constitution won. And I think that's what will be at stake in 2024. But whether it's the Bhabanipur election or the 4 bypolls which are coming after this or any election, we also have to acknowledge that the kind of money power which the BJP have, it's a fact, you know,
Mm.
money, muscle, mark, manipulation, mind games, misogyny. Remember the Didi or Didi line? So all these is what the BJP bring. And now you've heard the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, the kind of way he's been speaking. But eventually, what will really count always, as it was shown in early May, is how much work, what lives have you touched? Whose lives have you touched? How have you touched their lives? How have you made it easier for a girl to go to school? How have you made it easier for a senior citizen to get something in his or her bank account? How have you worked out a system where a student can go and get a student card, and go and take a 10 lakh loan? How does it feel? How does it feel like when? I mean, I'm telling you my own story where there's a maid who works with my neighbor, and she was telling me such a beautiful story. She's a single mother. She's got a son who is 19, and her mother lives with her. And her husband, she doesn't know where the husband disappeared. But she feels so empowered that she has the card in her name, the health card. These are the kind of stories,
Mm.
these are the kind of stories which everyone talks about. Mamata Banerjee, the phenomenon, Mamata Banerjee magic. But these are the little stories which make Mamata the who she is.
Well, Pallavi spoke about Times
Sure,
Time magazine featuring Mamata Banerjee as one of the top 100 most powerful personalities in the globe today. But let me take a cue from that, Derek, and let me ask you this: that when BJP has already put forward a candidate, right, against Mamata Banerjee. Let us, because you're approaching an election with humility, as you say, they have already put a candidate forward, and that candidate carries a background of fighting the Bengal government in the Calcutta High Court in this very contentious post-poll violence issue. Now, do you think that when a candidate of such background comes is pitted against Mamata Banerjee, will that give any kind of advantage to the BJP, or do you think that the issues that you are talking about, development
I
and
think I
empowerment of people, will that be
I
dominating
so
the
I
narrative?
really after the battering which BJP got, where is Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi? You're
I
asking
would
me
have
about
asked
the
that question.
you're going to ask me about the candidate. Poor candidate. Where is Mr. Amit Shah and Modi? Why aren't they in the list of the 20 star campaigners? What happened to them? Acha? One of the campaigners, I believe his name was listed on number 8. His name was listed there on number 8. From what I saw in the media, the gentleman concerned has backed off and said he won't even campaign. So how to
So
run a
how do
campaign?
you read between the lines, Derek,
There's
in
nothing
terms
to
of the
read
fact that in that list of star candidate in that star candidate list, three
between.
most important names are missing: that of the Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, as well as the party president JP Nadda. All
Yeah,
those
but
three
the
names are
somewhat
missing. And
the
how do you read
counter
between
can
the
be
lines?
the counter argument from one of the BJP spokespersons can
But
be, it's a bypoll. So Mr. Modi and Shah don't come and participate in the bypoll. They only come for the
mm,
elections. My counter question to that is, who parked themselves in Hyderabad during the local municipal body elections? You can't come
mm,
here because you ran a camp, and you not only ran a campaign which was not a good campaign. By the way, I left out, since I was on my alliterative trip about misogyny and money, I left out another very important M. which needs to improve their outlook as they approach elections, and which is the media. And there are channels like there are your channels. Please put up the kind of data points, etc. You'll put out before the elections. I was getting from Noida, including your channel, completely off. You all should. I'm not giving here to give lectures to media. Media is responsible. They will so-called responsibility. Pathetic stuff from News
Derek,
18.
yeah,
Now
Derek,
you got
I just want to come back to 2020. No.
You got
We've
upset.
heard.
You
No, it's not.
spoke about
No, it's just that there's
News
a
18.
paucity of time. No, I'm not upset. Derek, you of course have the right to say what you want to. I'm just going back to 2024 because I'm sitting over here in what you call Latins, and I know, and I'm also privy to the fact that you also played an important role as far as this whole opposition unity is concerned. I was also at that press conference with Shushmita Dev, and you were there, and you said we don't believe in poaching, but we are not an NGO. We are a political party. Now here's the problem. The entire burden of opposition unity or fighting Modi in 2024 cannot come in only on, say, the Trinamool Congress or AAP or the Samajwadi Party. Are you let down by the way the Congress Party, because I cover that party, so I'm asking you this question, is the Trinamool Congress at times let down by the fact that that drive, that aggression is not going to be there, is not there in the Congress, and therefore, is that what you want to request to all the stakeholders, that we all have to fight jointly together?
I think we first need to, as with whatever party we are in, when a journalist asks you a question about the Congress party, I will ask the journalist a counter question about the BJP. The bigger question to ask is, why ask the Congress? You please ask the BJP. Why did they change their chief minister so many times in Uttarakhand? Why did they change the chief minister in Karnataka? Why did they now change the chief minister in Gujarat? You're not asking these questions. You're asking about
No, but
Congress.
their argument, I'm
What
not
is that?
defending them, but their argument is that we want to win elections, and if for that we have to change chief minister, so be it. We are going to tolerate the ridicule. That doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if we win elections in these three states, then it's all
Where you won
justified. This is
elections?
their
Where
argument.
you won elections? Where you
Derek,
won
Derek,
elections?
if I
Where
may
did you
just
win
chip in,
elections? You
if you may
national
just
elections.
allow me, if you may just allow me to chip
Can
in
we
for
just,
a bit,
yeah,
I think the point that Pallavi is trying to make here is
Mm.
that
yeah.
the reason why she's talking Congress is because of the fact that Congress is your potential ally in 2024. You are taking on the BJP. So in terms of
Who's
an ally,
potential ally?
apart from the
There
gesture
is
that they have
yeah.
pulled out the candidate from Bhabanipur, are you very confident of going with them for 2024?
Please understand. I think both of you are seasoned journalists who know lots about politics in Bengal. Please look at that. I'm only giving the facts. Look at the 2021 assembly results. Did we fight on our own against this BJP who threw everything at us? They're still throwing. Abhishek Banerjee next week, this thing, that thing, Pegasus, everything they're throwing. So what eventually happened? I'm only putting the facts out. The Congress party got 0 seats. The CPIM got 0 seats. Now what are we going to do about that? So when we talk, I think there are bigger, if you're talking about opposition, we today, from what the understanding is, that Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress, taking on Modi and Shah leading the campaign, have decimated the BJP. So what is it that the Trinamool Congress did in Bengal, which can be replicated? Can it be replicated in Uttar Pradesh? Is the Trinamool Congress going to fight the assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh? What is the role of the principal party fighting the BJP? These are all the bigger questions. So I think to extrapolate.
I think we've got a kind of a connection
Yeah,
problem with Derek.
I think network issue with Derek's link. We'll just try and reconnect. Meanwhile, Pallavi, for the benefit of our viewers, we don't need to introduce Pallavi Ghosh, senior.
But I think what Derek
journalist
was
with,
making a very interesting
but
point.
yeah,
Unfortunately, we lost the connection. I think now
yeah,
they're going to look at what the Samajwadi Party is going to be doing in Uttar Pradesh. A lot will hinge on what happens really in UP. And if Samajwadi Party manages
of
to
course,
win there and upset the BJP,
of
Bengal,
course.
then the UP after that, that then the road to 24,
And then
30 opposition things will
there
become
are very
easier.
Yeah, and then there is, as far as the Trinamool Congress is concerned, the Tripura elections would be like very, very important for them as well, because this is the time that they are
The part.
looking forward to, having a footprint outside of Bengal.
Okay,
And
so we've
Tripura
got
would
Derek
be,
back. So we are
yeah,
yeah, we are
yeah,
also running out of time, Shogato. That's what I'm being nudged by the
yes,
producers. But so
yes.
Derek, we have to give you the last word. And the point which Shogato and I were making is Tripura is your big battlefield. UP, interesting, you made that point yourself. You would want the Samajwadi Party to win. So if Bengal UP, you think the road 24 seat the BJP and
Pallavi, I think you
Pallavi,
had
I couldn't.
there was some issue with your link as well. Can you repeat your question
Didn't
once
hear
for
your.
Derek?
I didn't hear your question.
Yeah,
I didn't hear your question, Pallavi.
yeah, yeah.
Will you repeat your question? Will you repeat your question?
Well, till such time, Pallavi is back, Derek. Let me reiterate the point that Pallavi was trying to make. I think what she was asking you is that you would essentially want the Samajwadi Party to do well in UP. You have a high stakes battle in Tripura. Will all of these state elections, which would be part of your run up to the 2024 general elections, be stepping stones towards that big battle that you are looking forward to?
Yes, Shogato, of course. I think every election is not the final frontier because there's always one,
Of course.
one thing there. But the fact, I think, what the Bengal result has shown is that Modi Shah, they are, they are beatable. Not only beatable, they can be thrashed. So I think that is the story. But each state election has to be looked at differently. And
Mhm.
when you are taking on the world's richest party, which is the BJP, and the world's, I would say, dirtiest, filthiest party in terms of their election tricks, you're taking them on. So it's not a teddy bear's picnic. It's a serious battle. But let me tell you, in Punjab, for example, as a student of politics, the BJP is no factor. It's a straight contest up now between the Aam Admi Party and the Congress Party, right? So the BJP, which are the obviously in Uttar Pradesh, the kind of campaign, again the filth they've started in Uttar Pradesh. I mean, the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh. I mean, look at his track record. Not only on the filth he speaks, but in the data which is available, the state. So as I said, uh, we as a party who've just come off, let me give you a cricketing analogy. We as a party who've just come off a big win have to be responsible to keeping the mood upbeat in the dressing room. That's the kind of feel we have to bring to charge everybody else up, just like it happens in a cricket dressing room when the team is winning and a few players are doing well. I think this is the responsibility we have, and we will do it. We will do it to the best of our ability, and obviously, we will do it in a way where the Trinamool Congress uh, gets a chance to work in more states, and two, obviously, the as I started the program by saying, we make sure the Constitution wins and the BJP manifesto is always on the losing side.
all
Pallavi,
right.
you want
Thank
to ask
Right,
more
you.
and I
questions
think
because
you will
No,
approach
I
Bhabanipur in that aspect as Pallavi. Would you like to wrap it up for all of us?
well, how do you wrap up what Derek has said? But Derek, important political points and news points you've certainly given us. So, Bhabanipur, that's in Kolkata, the battle for Didi. And of course, the road to 2024. I think that's the next big game, as you said, tagline, Khala Hobe. That's the next big game that we all have to watch out for. Thank you so much, Derek, on Shogato and me, once again for joining us. It's always a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Pallavi.